Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting of the Brockton School Committee. Today's Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, and the time is 7:06 p.m. I would like to do a roll call vote to establish a quorum. Tim Sullivan?
Here.
Tony Rodriguez?
Here.
Cynthia Mendez?
Here.
Kathy Ehlers?
Here.
Jared Homer?
Here.
Judy Sullivan, and the chair is present. I'd also like to make an announcement that Mayor Sullivan's unable to be with us this evening as he's at City Hall for their budget meetings. So our next item is, Mrs. Campbell, do we have any hearing of visitors? Oh, I apologize. Join me in the salute. I apologize. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brand new.
Right.
Sparkling.
So, Mrs. Campbell, hearing of visitors? There are no hearing of visitors this evening. So I apologize. I'm usually looking at a different agenda when we open our meeting. So this evening, this will be an abbreviated session of the school committee right now. We are going to head over to the student recognition ceremony, which is being held in the auditorium, and then the remainder of the agenda will resume back in the little theater after the ceremony. Now I'll need a motion. If I can get a motion from one of the members, we will need a motion to suspend the school committee meeting with the understanding that the meeting would reconvene after the student recognition ceremony, and then a second. Can I get a motion?
Motion to attend the Student Recognition Awards ceremony and then reconvene post the award ceremony to the regular school committee meeting.
Second.
A motion's been made by Mrs. Ehlers, and it's been seconded by Mr. Sullivan. We will, all in favor? It's unanimous, and we will reconvene shortly. We'll probably be back in about an hour or so. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us for the Student Recognition Night. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the Vice Chair of the School Committee, Ms. Joyce Azak.
Good evening, everyone. I want to begin by thanking all of the students and families for joining us tonight for this very special occasion. I'd also like to thank our staff and school committee members for being here. We're joined by Mr. Tim Sullivan, Mrs. Judy Sullivan, Mr. Jared Homer, Mrs. Kathy Ehlers, Mrs. Cynthia Mendez, and Mr. Tony Rodriguez. This is the highlight of the school year for us, to be able to celebrate your incredible accomplishments. I ask you all to now please stand and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, to which it stands, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd now like to welcome, I apologize. I also want to extend the mayor's apologies. He is at City Hall tonight for an important budget hearing. Trust me, he'd rather be here celebrating with our students. So right now I'd like to introduce our superintendent, Michael Thomas.
Thank you, Ms. Azak. Thank you, students and parents, for being here, and also staff. I want to thank the school committee as well and the mayor for always supporting our students, especially in all of our extracurricular activities, not only in the world of academics, but the school committee, even during the lean years of the budget, has always supported the extracurricular activities, the arts, athletics, anything to do with college and career. They've always supported that. So for that, school committee, we thank you. I also want to thank these students. What you have done during a pandemic is simply amazing, and you should give yourselves a round of applause. And parents, I want to thank you for trusting the Brockton Public Schools, putting your trust in us to keep your children safe and educate them, and you have sent us a wonderful group of kids, so thank you so much. Next, I'm going to, for the first order of awards, I'm going to bring up, this is for the National Latin Exam Award recipients. I want to ask Miss Rachel Umbriana, Coordinator of Classical and Modern Languages, to join us at the podium, and she will announce the winners. Thank you, Rachel.
Good evening, everyone. The National Latin Exam is given each spring to approximately 148,000 students worldwide. Students from all 50 states participate, as well as 13 foreign countries. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the students for their participation in the exam and to thank the teachers for all their hard work to prepare the students to succeed on these exams. The Classical and Modern Language Department is very proud of you. Of the more than 100,000 students who take the exam, we have some of the highest scorers here tonight, and it's my honor to ask you to join me on stage. First, I'd like to recognize our students from South Middle School. We have Courtney Jeffers, cum laude. Noah Kang, magna cum laude. Gabriela Mendoza Contreras, silver maxima cum laude. Julian Ortega, cum laude. And Shamaria Winter, magna cum laude. And now our recipients from West Middle School. We have Stephen Ambrose, magna cum laude. Christopher Genti, cum laude. Gianna Lindsay, magna cum laude. Chloe Lugo Staley, magna cum laude. Junielce Pina Montero, silver maxima cum laude. And Abdiel Snelling, magna cum laude. Congratulations to all of our students.
Thank you, Rachel. Next up is our Region V Science Fair Award. Is Christian Nichols here? Christian's a senior, so the seniors have been relaxing a lot, so that they ended school and graduated this past Saturday. So I'll just speak quickly about Christian. We want to honor Christian for his second place finish at the fair. He also won the Optical Society Award for his project. Many of you know Christian for his lengthy list of accomplishments here at Brockton High School. Christian is the salutatorian of the class of 2022. He will attend Stanford in the fall. We will miss him. His contributions to Brockton High School, the staff that worked with Christian, thank you. And again, the work he did with his fellow students was amazing. So we wish Christian the best in his future endeavors at Stanford. Next up, I want to welcome one of my favorite people, Mr. Cedric Turner. Come on up, Cedric. And Mr. Peter Zambor. So can the Empower Ourselves students come up and line up to my right by the stairs? So Cedric is going to talk quickly about the Empower Yourself program, and then he's going to announce the award winners. So, but I also quickly want to say to Cedric and Mr. Zambord, what they've done with this program over the years, it's been going on for almost 10 years now, and their commitment to the students and continuing to keep this program going at the middle school and high school level has been simply amazing. So thank you so much for all you do for our kids.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is going to be very, very short for me, and I'm going to have it turned over to over here. But I like to have you thank Mr. In fact, with Thomas for all of your type of support. I also like to say that Mr. In fact Nichols, in fact, is kind of one of ours. So he's been with him type of Power Yourself for 3 whole years. He actually placed first place in our economic in fact symposium, and has done a lot of things. A lot of his teammates are in fact right up here. And what did we have to do is we have these here kids on the starting in the sixth in fact grade, and we have them basically promoted. For those of you interested in us, we have ourselves a camp. We have ourselves a STEM camp, and we are going to have that run. We have it run every single year. For those of you who have kids in grade 6 through 10, or 11th, or 12th, let us in fact know. We are only taking in 25 kids because we have people like Lincoln Labs, MIT. We have a lot of these companies and schools. Northeastern School of Engineering will be teaching, the Bridgewater State School of Aviation. So we have a lot of these top schools that's about to in fact happen. But I would like to have my high school kids, Mara, Lydia, all of them, who is down there. So, and then, well, Mr. Zimbo, we have had the high school kids. Why don't you talk about the middle?
Thank you. I'm Peter Zimbo. I'm a 6th grade teacher at the Ashfield School in Brockton. And just really quickly, I want to give you a Cliff Note version of this. But about 9 years ago when this started, Mr. Turner brought it to us, and my principal, Dr. Lovell, asked me to get involved. I tried to kill this. I didn't think kids could handle global issues. I did not think they could handle financial literacy. I did not think that they could ever wrap their mind around what an annuity is. They do, and they have. We have about 11 trophies at our school that these kids have won. They came in first and second, competing against all around the country, really, and working as a team, relying on each other. It's beautiful to watch. I mean, just to sit back and all that work and to see it unfold in front of you is just magic. So anyway, I'm extremely proud to be a part of this. I'm very grateful to Cedric Turner for bringing this into Brockton schools, because we beat Greenwich, Connecticut, and MSNBC had just done a news story on them about how wonderful they are, and then we beat them first, second, and third one year. MSNBC News should come here. So thank you, Mr. Turner, and to our amazing students, and thank you for being here. Yeah, please. Be glad to. Okay. The first place winner was, they did a PowerPoint presentation on global supply chain issues, an extremely appropriate thing, and they won. And that would be Henry Annie, yep, Michael Belzer, Ryan Burgess, John David Glanewski, and Rodvins Telefort. It wasn't even close. But second place among all these places, what are the odds? It would be us again. It was climate change, and it was Nielsen Alves, Esther Calexte, Jayla Evans, Miranda Gutierrez, and Laura McDevitt. And with all these schools around the country, Texas, Louisiana, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Boston and Springfield, we also won third. We're pretty proud. That would be Dylan Burr, Tavian Cardoso, Adrian Herrera, and Bruce Philemon. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we have another thing here, the drone competition. So they came in second place overall. They were the only team to achieve autonomous flight. That's incredible. I'm pretty proud that some of these are my former students. We have Mara Barada, Lydia Bloodsworth, Aris Cardoso, Liz Bertay Celestin, Amaya Cujo, Jemiah Evans, Juwan LaRoe, Ezekiel Lemieux, Brianna Muse, and Marcelana Resende Barboso Pina. Fantastic.
Thank you, guys. Great job. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Cedric. Good to see you. Next, I want to bring up the Director of Music, Michael Smith. He will present the Music Awards. So I ask the bands and chorus students to please approach the stairs to my right, and then please come up when you hear your name. Thank you, Michael.
As Director of Music, nothing makes me more proud than celebrating the achievements of our students who have spent years perfecting their craft. Our programs are widely considered among the best in the nation because our students work hard and are committed to their goals. You guys can come on up to the stage. And with that, please welcome these students who participated in the 2022 Massachusetts All-State Music Festival Chorus. Our first award recipient, Khalil Callender. Khalil was also a member of the 2022 American Choral Directors Association Eastern Region Honor Choir, and he won All-State Acting Award from the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild. Congratulations, Khalil. Congratulations, buddy. Nick Cannell, who can't be with us this evening. Stephen Diaz Tavares. Stephen also won an All-Star Acting Award from the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild. Congratulations. Other students are Dewana Namir, Noah Thomas. Dewana Namir, come on, Dewana. Congratulations, Dewana. Nora Thomas. Congratulations, Nora. And we'd also like to invite up Esther Onyeka, who joined Khalil as a member of the 2022 American Choral Directors Association Eastern Region Honors Chorus. Congratulations. This year, we had one member of our jazz band represent the district at the 2022 Massachusetts All-State Music Festival. Please join me in welcoming Nilta DeRosa. She's not here tonight. Congratulations to her, nonetheless. Congratulations to our student musicians. We'll give them a hand as well. Congratulations to them.
Thank you, Michael. Next up, I want to welcome our art director, Sarah Richards, who will present our visual and performing awards. So I'll have our art award recipients please come up and line up on the stage so you can come up to my right. Thank you, Sarah.
Good evening. The Fine Arts Department is pleased to announce that 9 students from the high school won 10 honors in the 2022 Scholastic Art Awards. These awards recognize the hard work and dedication and talent of the student and the teachers of the Brockton Public Schools Art Department. I'm pleased to announce the following honors. Elise Alves, honorable mention in digital art. Mackay Benson, honorable mention in painting. Katerina Lux, honorable mention in painting. Cleantania Perrier, honorable mention in digital art. Elise Angeli Pires, silver key for digital art. Robert Pires, honorable mention for photography. Gamanuel Predelis, honorable mention photography. And Jim Simi, who received both honorable mention and silver key for photography. And this last student crosses two categories. Elise Watt, she won honorable mention for mixed media in the Scholastic Art Awards, and she also was recognized for the UMass Dartmouth Emerging Young Artist juried exhibition. Along with Elise, 12 high school student artists have been selected to exhibit artwork in the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth College of Visual and Performing Arts Emerging Young Artist juried exhibition. This is a highly competitive annual high school juried exhibition that recognizes exceptional merit on high school art students and art programs in New England. We are very proud of all of these students and exhibiting their work at UMass Dartmouth. We have Mark Bartholomew Jr., and Andrew Bowen, Alex Shara-Hara, Jardel Deval, Erica Fernandez, Melise Groton, Kiara Moyes, Vanessa Nostral, Maria Rivera O'Donovan, Olivia Spadia, Clarence Tessia. Congratulations to all of our visual arts students. Next, I'd like to ask any drama club members to come join me up on the stage. The Brockton High School Drama Club production of The Big 11 made it to the semifinals round of the New England Drama Festival. Our drama club students work hard to put together a wonderful show, and the following students won individual awards. Mr. Smith presented a few of these awards earlier, so we might have some doubles. All-Star Acting Awards, David St. Lude. Olivia Spadia. Stephen Diaz. Maisel Samba. Khalil Calendar. We have a student that won as a student director, and she was part of the set design team, Hillary Clark. Jasia Sichter, she won for the logo design for the whole entire New England Drama Festival, and she was also part of the set design team. And the other members of the set design team, Martina Green, James Kirikrock, Emily Ta, Zoe Lopez, Kaylee Littleton. And our very own Hello Dolly, Anna Anais. Anna won honorable mention in the New England Drama Festival monologue contest. We congratulate her for that, too. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Before we go on to the next awards, I want to welcome the mayor who was able to make it with us. He came from a meeting at City Hall. So, Mayor Robert Sullivan.
So I do apologize for being tardy. Tonight starts the city budget hearing, so I was before the city council at 6:30, and I might have broke a few speed records to get here, so don't tell the police officers, all right? But this is a special place, right? City of Brockton's Brockton Public School, Brockton High is a special place, and the students getting these awards are special, and they're examples of Brock's pride and Brock's strong, and what it means to be a champion in the city, a champion. And Mike and myself are graduates of Brockton High School, and tonight exemplifies, the offerings in the Brockton Public Schools, right? If a kid, a boy and girl, takes advantage of what can be offered, extracurricular, wonderful things can happen, on the stage, on the field. It's just, it's just, when they harness their God-given talents, it's just a wonderful thing. So I proudly signed over 200 of these citations, and I did so. They said, "Oh, you can stamp them, Mayor." I said, "No, absolutely not. The boys and girls deserve what they get. They are products of a wonderful institution. I want to thank the teachers. I want to thank all the parents and guardians and loved ones that are mentoring them. But ultimately, they're the next generation. So every boy and girl that's getting something today, I just want to say congratulations. I want to say thank you for always exemplifying what Brockton is, and continue to reach for the stars, because you'll achieve it. Be well. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next, I'd like to bring up Master Sergeant Dana Clark. He will be recognizing JROTC students, so thank you for their leadership.
Superintendent, I'd like to welcome, excuse me. Okay. All right, JRTC is a character leadership development program. As the key leaders, these students will be given the tremendous responsibility of leading and managing the program, administering, operation, logistic actions, and necessary support the school committee and community events. I'd like to introduce the Battalion Commander, Samantha Blanchard. The Executive Officer, Julia Gobelot. Yeah, I butchered your name. Okay. Lena Pinto, the Command Sergeant Major. And we have one of our company commanders here. Congratulations to our JRTC students.
Can you stay up for 1 second? Master Sergeant, stay with me for 1 second here. So I want to recognize Master Sergeant Clark, who took over the lead for the JRTC program midway through the year. And his commitment to those students and to the program has been simply amazing. I want to thank you for your dedicated service and what you have done for the program and the kids of the JRTC. So thank you so much. Next up, I want to welcome our athletic director, Kevin Caro, to recognize our student athletes.
Good evening, everyone. After 2 years of disrupted athletics because of COVID, this year was a welcome return to competitive play for the outstanding young people we are honoring tonight. Boxer Nation has a history of excellence, and these student athletes have continued that proud tradition. So I'll begin with the fall season. Our first team All-Scholastics are Jason Winoti. Jason was first team for both football and indoor track. He was also named to the Boston Herald All-Scholastic list. Gennaro Reynosa, boys soccer. Owen Talbot, golf. Nick O'Connell, boys cross country. Nobody here. Our second team All-Scholastics for the fall are Cameron Montero. Cam was second team All-Scholastic for football and first team All-Scholastic for basketball. He joins Jason on the Boston Herald All-Scholastic list. Hey, here comes Nick. Gracian Marrera, boys soccer. Jara Rodriguez, girls soccer. Our honorable mentions for the fall season are Mauricio Powell, football. Isildir Fernandez, boys soccer. Zachariah Foster, boys soccer. Jimmy Dragonetti, golf. Aaron Corlett, boys cross country. And Catherine Moyes, girls cross country. Kat, you here? Come on up. Now I'd like to recognize our winter all-scholastic athletes. Christensen Paul was named first team for boys indoor track. Our second team All-Scholastics, Dejan Burton, boys basketball. Ella McCarthy, gymnastics. Anthony Canuto, boys track. Mamadou Tachamo, boys track. And Nico Lutz received an honorable mention for boys basketball. Congratulations to our talented athletes, and go Boxers.
All right, so parents, students, thank you so much for coming, and congratulations. I'm going to bring up, to close us out, Vice Chair Joyce Azak to wrap it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have one more round of applause for our incredible students? We are so proud of all of you and look forward to your many future accomplishments. That concludes our presentation. We will now return to the Little Theater to reconvene for our regular school committee meeting. Have a good evening, everyone.
I hereby call the June 7th, 2022 Brockton School Committee back into session. I will humbly ask a member to make a motion to come back into session, please.
Motion to come back into session.
Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Sullivan, properly seconded by Ms. Sullivan. All in favor, kindly raise your hand. All opposed, we're back into session. I'm going to go into the agenda. I do want to thank the Vice Chair, Joyce Azak, for pinch hitting. Tonight started the City Council budget hearings, and as mayor, I had to open up the 6:30 budget, but we were able to get back in time here to see the wonderful school district kids getting the awards. Let's give all the students a round of applause. This time I will continue on with the agenda. Agenda item number 3 is the consent agenda. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Are there any members of the school committee that would like to take them out of order, or would we take them collectively at this time? Just the will of the body? Is there a motion?
Approve consent agenda
Collectively?
collectively.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Sullivan, properly seconded by Mr. Homer. Before we take the vote, I just will read them into the minutes, into the record. A is the approval of the minutes, May 24, 2022, public hearing, FY 2023 school budget meeting. B is the approval of minutes, May 24, 2022, special school committee meeting. C is the approval of minutes, May 17, 2022, public school choice meeting. D is the approval of the JROTC overnight trip to Fort Devens. E is the authorization to submit an FY 2022 request to fund Advancing Community School Partnership Grant Nellie May in the amount of $740,000. F is the authorization to submit an FY 2022 request to fund Federal COPS COPS School Violence Prevention Program in the amount of $500,000. G is the authorization to submit an FY 2022 request to fund DESE Early College Incubator Planning Grant Fund Code in the amount of $200,000. H is the authorization to submit an FY 2022 request to fund Boxes Our Champions campaign, Harold Brooks Foundation in the amount of $30,000. And finally, I is the acceptance of notification, personnel actions, leaves of absences, resignations, and retirements. We have a motion that's properly second. All in favor of accepting those A through I, please raise your hand. All opposed, that does pass unanimously. We will now go on to agenda item 4, which is the report of Superintendent of Schools Mike Thomas. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mayor. First, we have we need to request a change in the calendar for next year, the 2022-23 district calendar. It's a change of the April elementary school parent conferences in Closure 10. They would move from the 13th and 14th of April to the 27th and 28th, which would be after the vacation in April. So that's a change in the calendar, which was already approved, so we just need a vote to make that change and approve the district calendar.
Entertain a motion relative to that change articulated by the superintendent. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Sullivan, properly seconded by Ms. Sullivan. All in favor, kindly raise your hand. All opposed, it passes unanimous.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, this was actually approved, and we'll do it again at tonight's meeting, is the approval of the new Brockton Public Schools organizational chart. The organizational chart, which hasn't been changed in a long time, obviously for budget cuts. This chart is the central administration staff and how it supports its schools. The chart goes back to 2 deputy superintendents, one of teaching and learning, one of operations. And it also makes a change in the titles of the executive directors to call them exactly what they are. Some executive directors will be now called assistant superintendents, which they were years ago, and that's the job they perform. That's the licenses they hold, superintendent/assistant superintendent. So I know that we approved this at the last meeting, but we figured we would put it on the agenda again. So this would be the for July 1st, 2022 and 2023 organizational chart.
Is there a motion relative to the matter that superintendent just defined herein? Is there a motion, please?
Can I just say something first,
On the
Mayor?
no motion, go ahead. Yes, Mr. Sullivan, please.
The Office of Teaching, and I just wanted to say something about the organizational chart, because the chart really hasn't, it was in effect years ago, but since COVID and since all the cuts, the deep cuts that these offices have had to take over the 8 years of budget cuts that we had. The Office of Teaching and Learning is a very important office in our district. Well, so isn't operations too. But this office, along with many other administrative positions, has had to take deep cuts over the last 8 years previous to COVID in order to keep teachers and support staff in the classroom and to reduce class size. This is the reason for the number of turnaround schools for the new people, and to the district being cited on so many of these items on the district review. Because if you cut administrative positions, you're losing out on key people that run this district. And the superintendent has been doing his job for 3 years on his own, and the previous was 2 deputies in these positions. Okay, and we all know one person can't do all these jobs. So that's the reason for the turnaround schools and us being cited on the district review. If the state is going to cut us money, what can we do? What can we do? We want to keep teachers in the classroom. We need to reduce class size. What can we do? Well, administrators are cut, and that's really sad. There were many administrators doing 2 to 3 people's jobs during this time. There was key people, and you know who you are on the people that were doing this, okay? We all know only so much can be accomplished under these conditions. But these people in the key administrative positions that weren't cut, they did all they could do to the best of their ability. They worked hard for our kids because they know how important this work is. I just wanted to say that before
Thank
we
you.
vote on.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Appreciate that. Thank you. Any other comments from any of the members?
I'd like to make a motion.
Mr. Sullivan?
Motion is to approve the Brockton Public Schools organizational chart starting July 1st, 2022.
Form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I don't know if it's Mr. Rodriguez or Mr. I'm going to give it to Mr. Rodriguez this time. Motion was made by Mr. Sullivan, properly seconded by Mr. Rodriguez. All in favor, kindly raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. It does pass unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next is the vote to approve my recommended candidate for the Deputy Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Sharon Wolder. Sharon has been with the district, has started as a teacher in 1995, so she's been with us for 27 years. She taught at Brockton High School for 9 years, then became a department head of social studies for 2 years, and then was at a dean at Brockton High School for 6 years, and then served as the associate principal for 3 years under Dr. Zakowitz, then principal of Brockton High School in 2013, and then 2017, Superintendent Smith tapped Sharon to be the Chief Officer of Student Support Service, which she has been doing since 2017. So Sharon also is a Brockton resident, a longtime Brockton resident.
Boston College grad.
Yeah, Boston College grad.
Was that supposed to be whispered?
So my recommended candidate for the Deputy of Teaching and Learning is Sharon Wolder.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. And I support that 1,000%. Are there any questions or comments at this time?
I'd like to make a motion.
Motion?
Motion is to approve the appointment of Sharon Walder as District Deputy Superintendent.
Form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Mendez. So the record will reflect it. The motion was made by Mr. Sullivan, properly seconded by Mrs. Rivas Mendez. All in favor of that, please raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. It passes unanimously.
And second,
Congratulations.
Sharon, you want to come up and say a few words? You might have to turn that on. I think it might be. I think they turn it on from up there. There we go.
So let me just start by saying thank you very much. It's an honor. Today would have been my father's birthday, so this is a special honor for me. So in honor of him, my mother, and my family, I really appreciate this vote of confidence that I can help move this system forward in the direction it needs to go. And for everybody that I will be working with, please know that it is the work of helping kids be the best that they can be. And we know that they can do everything that we put in front of them, and the more we challenge them, the higher they rise. And so that is the work. And Ms. Sullivan, you are correct. We went through a lot of cuts, a lot of changes. It hurt us in many ways, but we're in a different place now. And so now the work moves forward in a way that really shows what kids in Brockton can do. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharon. Next is recommended to move from Executive Director of Operations to Deputy Superintendent of Operations, Dr. James Cobbs. Jim has been in education for over 25 years. He's been with us. He took the principal's job at the Edison Academy. He's been with us since 2013. And then since 2019, he has served as the Executive Director of Operations. Jim is an Army veteran. He did a lot of operations work during the Kuwait deployment. He did a lot of work around operations around the deployment of troops. He also served 2 different rehabilitation nursing homes as the director of their operations for over 250 employees at one with a $17 million budget, and over 70 employees at the other for a $7 million budget. So Jim has been serving again since 2019 as the Executive Director of Operations, so he would move to Deputy Superintendent of Operations, a title I once held.
And I support this wholeheartedly. You know, Dr. Cobbs, I have a mandatory department head meeting every Wednesday since I've been a mayor, and Dr. Cobbs is there every single week on behalf of the school department. He also is a great multitasker, as we know, right, from the transportation fleet to the former May Institute on Summer Street. He's there, always ready, willing, and able. So, Dr. Cobbs, I support this, and I say thank you for what you've done. And between you and Sharon, a lot more is going to be coming beneficial. So, kudos, kudos. Is there a motion at this time?
I'll make a motion if I could.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, that was good. A motion was made by Mr. Salvas, properly seconded by Mrs. Rivas Mendez. All in favor, kindly raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Passes unanimously. Congratulations.
He doesn't want to give a speech. So congratulations to both Jim and Sharon. And something else to mention about the organizational chart, and again, it's been something we haven't had, again, the cuts over the years and COVID. And it's something that, our previous superintendent, Kathy Smith, worked hard to try to get these positions back, but budget was a battle. And there's a reason, one of the reasons we have the Student Opportunity Act is because Kathy's hard work on getting that through. So this was something that's been talked about to bring back for a long time. But I want to make one thing clear is when we look at every department at Central, and as we go through, especially now as we're coming close to coming out of COVID, my question for every department, every director, every assistant superintendent, every deputy, the two deputies is, how does your office affect the classroom? How does your office support teachers in the work that goes on in the school every day? And if that office is not doing that at Central, then it should not exist, because our job at Central is to support what's going on in the classroom, give teachers the tools that they need, the professional development they need to be the best they can for our students. So, and if that's not going on in one of the district departments, then that department should not exist. So that's the way I'll be looking at, as we have now, an organizational chart that makes sense and is clear. It's going to be from here on in, how each one will be evaluated every year is how is it affecting the classroom and supporting our teachers and students.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. And I've said this many times, and I know all of you will support this. We're in the people business, right? And like any business, the city of Brockton is a business, right? And BPS is in the business of providing the best education to the boys and girls to also support our staffs and administrators. So with the leadership of Mike, Superintendent Thomas, an organizational chart is needed in any business, in any structure. So, I want to thank the 7 members that are duly elected school committee for supporting this. And as chairman, I'm really proud of where we're taking it to the next level. We just elevated 2 wonderful, dedicated public servants. So thank you.
Jim is also a Brockton resident,
Oh, yes, he is.
if I can mention that.
He's also a voter. So, what Ward? Ward 4. There you go, Mr. Rodriguez. No, but again, I
Sharon's
think
Ward 7.
Ward 7. There you go. I think what Superintendent Thomas just said is 100% the way that we have to run Brockton Public Schools, right? You do the right things for the right reasons, and if you don't do them, you cut them. And we're not cutting, we're adding to the base, we're not subtracting here for BPS. We've cut for so long, we can't do that anymore. So to surround ourselves with the dedicated folks that are in this room, and again, I thought Dr. Zakowicz hit it out of the park the other day at Brockton High graduation when she was thrown up to the podium. But again, this is a special place, and what was just proven is we just saw the talent of the students that make up BPS and Brockton High that just got over 200 awards here. And it's pretty unique that the president of BEA, Kim Gibson, would come every single meeting, right? Our union president doesn't need to do that, but she's a graduate of Brockton High, so she understands it. So, Mike, thank you for your leadership, and let's continue to roll up our sleeves and get the job done. Thank you.
So last was, again, the Student Recognition Awards. I want to thank our teachers and administrative staff and all the support staff at the schools for supporting these students to help them achieve their goals and win these awards. So, and I want to recognize the students and their families for receiving their awards and all their hard work during this most difficult time. So it was a great great night in the auditorium. So, and I want to thank the school committee, as I said in there, for always supporting the extracurricular activities, supporting in-school activities around academics, and obviously all the extracurricular activities. So just want to say congratulations again to all the students that received those awards, and for all the teachers and support staff that always have supported them.
Also have to give a special shout out to Melinda Campbell and Lisa Cunningham for coordinating the actual citations. I mean, they're awesome, professional. They're awesome. It's a great example of what Brockton is. I also want to thank Principal Burns for her leadership as well. So thank you, Cindy. Any comments or questions at this time? Are there any matters to
have
refer
something,
to?
Mayor.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sullivan.
I just wanted to say that I thought the high school graduation went really good and great. There was a lot of good compliments given afterward, that everything went really well. And
Both Friday night and Saturday.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and that we could get it done in 2 hours with 700 and, how many? 710 kids. And other towns did it much longer, and they had less kids.
Yeah, it was
So,
great.
great job, because we had a lot of new people, too, behind the scenes, and they did a great job. So,
Thanks to the custodial staff, facilities, I mean, everything was top-notch. It was just great to be able to be back in person collectively. Any comments or questions at this time? Are there any matters to refer to subcommittee at this time? I don't believe there are, but. Any unfinished business at this time, which is agenda item 5? Any new business, which is 6? And lastly, number 7, which is the adjournment.
motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Mrs. Sullivan, properly seconded by Mrs. Rivas Mendez. All in favor of adjourning? All opposed? Have a good evening. Drive careful. Thank you.